Welcome back. Today we do a quick one on a new set by SoundPEATS. This one is the Breezy. And the Breezy, I think, actually came out before Air 5. They kind of slipped it in without doing a lot of marketing because they were marketing Air 5 at the time. But Breezy is sort of the smaller, maybe the little brother to Go Free 2, which is this guy. So this is their flagship open ear style set, and I'll kind of rehash what these are about. So these go around your ear. This one is wireless, and it actually slides kind of right above your ear canal, and they have a directional port or speaker, and they sort of indirectly put sound into your ear, and you end up with kind of a big dynamic driver, kind of a chamber for resonance, and you get a nice sound that goes right kind of indirectly into your ear, so you can also hear environmental noises around you, and you still have awareness of your surroundings, and you get high quality music at the same time. So Breezy is very much the same idea, but this is the smaller, cheaper brother. And you can kind of see they don't really have the directional port. They just have a speaker sitting there. But what is new about Breezy is this adjustable ear hook. And if you look at these guys, they are, you get some little bit of adjustment to it, but not a whole lot. It's pretty much a static fit, and you're kind of hoping that actually slides right on top of your ear canal and everything lines up. And then on this guy, they do allow you, because there's no directional port to it, to slide this closer to your ear canal and get a better sound or less sound depending on how much you want to hear your environment and be aware of your surroundings. So pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea, and I think it is the right idea for some of these. Not everyone is able to slide these over their ear and get a perfect fit. This will allow you to get a better fit, but there's a trade-off between it too. This one is actually quite an expensive set. This one, I think, on sale with coupons and all that, I think it was down in the $25 to $30 range, so quite a bit cheaper than the bigger brother. And there are some trade-offs, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about those. So what is it? What is Breezy? It is an open ear, 90-degree adjustable earphone, like they talked about. And I think with that lower cost, there are some trade-offs like I was just talking about. And I think the adjustable ear hooks do work as intended. I think they are a welcome addition to their product line and giving people an alternative to this style to let people have a little bit more adjustment. But I will say that on these actually fit me fine. You will have the urge to kind of poke at them and push them closer to the ear to get them closer to your ear canal. And I would say don't do that. It's kind of it feels natural to do that, but don't do that because that changes the sound in each ear. And then you'll have kind of this off sound, this imbalance between the two. This is a lot easier to wrap around your ear and then adjust them both in the same way. And then you get a kind of a synchronized left and right channel that is still adjustable. So I do think they and like I said, they actually have this ear hook, and it actually has clicks on it, so it has some discrete positions to it, so it's not as hard to get the two to line up as it might appear to be. So pretty cool. I think they got that idea correctly and right, and especially at the right price to let people try this style as opposed to this style. But yeah, I think the adjustable ear hooks was actually a pretty good idea. So, and I will say, with the lower cost, I think the sound quality and richness and detail on Breezy is not quite what it is at the Go Free 2 level. I do think there is a difference between the driver. I think this one is a 13. It might actually say it on the back. Maybe. Yeah, I don't actually see it. So typically they put features on the side. Yeah. So that's actually a pretty big one. So this is a 16.2 dynamic driver. If we look on the side of this box, I think it actually says it's a 12 millimeter dynamic driver. So yeah, I kind of guessed that they were different, and I didn't realize that they were that different. But this is a big driver, and it sounds like a big driver. They do have a little chamber in there to get you a deeper, more resonant sound, and I think all of that was done really well at the price point they did it. Breezy, smaller driver, not quite as rich, not quite as detailed. So I think that a lot of that is going to be the trade-off in cost and sound quality. This one has more codecs. This one does LDAC. This one only does SBC and AAC. So overall, the sound is similar because they're both open ear and they're both kind of mid-focused, and you don't get crazy extension on this open ear style. But I think the use case for both of these is pretty much the same, and they're kind of really nice for general music, calls, movies, those kind of things. And when you still want some awareness of your surroundings, these both kind of fit the bill on that use case. And the other new piece to Breezy is the dynamic EQ. So the new Peats app. For those of you who have any SoundPEATS, you are already familiar with the Peats app, and they tend to introduce features per model, and I think Breezy is the first one with what they call dynamic EQ. So if you're familiar with the app, there's basically different ways to EQ or change the sound profiles on this, and I think this one adds a fourth. So there's auto EQ, the one that tries to figure out your hearing. It gives you a little hearing test and tries to figure out which frequencies work better in your ears. That's one style of EQ. They do have the same presets, so you can still get SoundPEATS Classic. All those presets are still there. You can still do custom EQ and move the sliders on your own. And they have a new one that's actually called Dynamic EQ. And in my opinion, they basically tried to close the gap. Like this one has the bigger driver with the directed port. This one is a smaller driver with the non-directed port, and it isn't quite as rich as this one, especially the bass level is quite lower than this one. So they used electronic EQ to basically kind of close the gap and make this one a bassier, richer sound. And, I think it was just an alternative to the things that are lacking on this size of a shell. So the acoustic chamber, the smaller dynamic driver, the bass boost is a bit aggressive on this one if you listen to basic music, and you might hear some distortion. So you can also drop back to the custom EQ and just increase the bass boost and do it a kind of a similar thing to auto EQ. But they defaulted to this dynamic EQ, so I think the intention was for people to use it, and I do think it sounds better. If you turn it off, it will sound a little bit bass light. So do play with it. I just happened to be listening to bassy music, and it kind of sounded a little distorted on some tracks, but turn it off, use custom EQ, or just move on to the next track and it'll probably be fine. So that's a quick one on Breezy. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.